Hello, my soul kin. How are you? This is Kamara with the Blackdove Oracle. I'm so happy that you've joined me here for another reading. I feel honored to be reading for you. So let's jump right into it. We are looking at what your Neptune ancestors have as a message for you in this reading. And you can choose the piles in a number of ways, right? You can look at the ancestor depictions on the opening slide, or you can choose from one of these four groups. So group number one is going to be the sun. Group number one. Group number two will be the child. Group number two. Group number three will be the snake. And group number four is going to be the siren. So take a moment, my lovelies, and see if either one of these four resonate with you for a reading, or if the ancestral depictions, the drawings, of the ancestors on the opening slide work for you. The timestamps are going to be in the description box below. And what I'm going to do next is just give a brief description of what Neptune energy is, the planet, and what it could possibly mean for us in our natal chart. I will do a tiny brief summary of this before each group. So if you do skip direct and go directly to your groups, just know that that's going to be in there as well. Again, very happy that you've joined me, and I'm very happy to be reading for you. If you can, please give a thumbs up or consider subscribing to this new channel. It's just a simple way to support the growth of this channel and make sure that I get the messages out to a larger group. I really do appreciate your assistance. Now, let's go to the Neptune. So Neptune, it's a planet that has been associated with the psychic, the psyche, meaning it represents our ideals, our intuition, our spirituality, and our compassion. It governs the domain of dreams and delusions. Sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, that's quite Neptunian, because Neptune has a way of presenting, what does it say? It kind of presents as muddy and murky at first. You're trying to see through the clouds of Neptune before it becomes clear. So Neptune placements, somewhere in your chart, there could be what is being revealed as an innate connection to spirituality, mysticism, supernatural abilities. Your creativity or divinity is maybe defined in this place in your chart. Our Neptune placement exposes how we dissolve of structures, systems, and limiting beliefs, and it stands in the way of assessing true transcendence. So, Neptune can be what has been described as an invisible web that supports us all and allows us to just let go and trust. That's kind of the lesson of Neptune. Let go and trust. Because with Neptune, you're going to see things that are non-linear, that are out of the ordinary, that are part of an extraordinary state of consciousness. The planet rules Pisces, and Pisces has long been associated with that kind of energy that there's that transcendence, but it also has to have boundaries to it. Otherwise, you are too open to deception. You're too open to becoming addicted to something. You're too under the influence. And that's how we kind of look at what we would call quote unquote negative Pisces, like Piscean, how do you want to say, Piscean patterns that are prone to delusion and illusion unless there is some sort of boundary, unless the ego can be worked with in such a way that we understand that there's many things in this world that are larger than life, many mystical experiences that we can have, but we ground them in a certain way so that we can use them without our ego becoming overly inflated. So this reading is going to touch on the themes of Neptune as it relates to our spirituality, our imagination, and our illusion. And we're going to ask our Neptune ancestors to be as clear as possible, right? So let's get to our groups. And we will start with group 1. And again, the timestamps are in the description box below. Okay, my honeys. Hello, group number 1. How are you? This is Kamara with the Blackdove Oracle. I want to thank you for joining me for this pick a card on what it is what message does your Neptune ancestors have for you? So group number 1, you resonated with the Sun card, or maybe you resonated with the Neptune ancestor that represented group 1. Either way, this is going to be your reading. So let's briefly talk about Neptune in case you skipped ahead to the reading. Neptune is the psychic planet of ideals, of intuition, of spirituality, and compassion. It has a domain over our dream world, a domain over our world that casts a lot of delusions. So Neptune can really help you tap into your spirituality, your mysticism, your supernatural abilities, your creativity, and your divinity. This is a planet that rules the sign Pisces. And Neptune has a bit of a reputation for being a little muddy, being a little murky. It casts clouds before it clarifies. So when you're dealing with Neptune energy, it's important to keep in mind you may not see everything yet. It doesn't mean you're not going to see the whole picture, but to know that when things are under the illusion of Neptune, sometimes deception can happen. Either we deceive ourselves or we are being deceived by others. So let's go to your group. Sun. Well, as you can imagine, the sun is such a beautiful, lucky card in the tarot. It really does speak to optimism. It speaks to a certain kind of energy. You know, at the basic biological level, we know that very few things can grow without the sun. It's a necessary energy. And if you wish to grow, you're going to need that energy of the sun. You're going to need its force. And there's something about the sun always kind of promising a better day, right? When we go out in the sun, we feel better. When the sun comes out, it's illuminating things. Without the sun, we can feel there's a lack of motivation. We can feel like there's no action happening. And we may even question the potentiality of things. So group number 1, it feels like you and your Neptune ancestor is saying whatever the messages that are forthcoming now, they have to do with your energy, your optimism. So let's go to your oracle cards. We have the card Strength. We have the card Let It Go. And we have the card Five of Earth. The Let It Go card, it's catching my attention first. Release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. And then the Five of Earth card, it's talking about the continuum of life, which I'm recording this around the new year. 2024 comes to a year of the number 8. 8, when it's turned on its side, is infinity. That infinity symbol is talking about the same energy that's being depicted in this Five of Earth card, meaning life is circular. That you see this rabbit, there's little baby rabbits. I forgot what they're called, baby rabbits, but their baby rabbits are right in the little hole, the little burrow, while there is a skeleton of another rabbit right underneath that. And it's kind of giving that whole birth, death continuum. And it's happening actively all the time. We're giving birth to something new as some other part of us might slowly die off, might slowly go away. And the Strength card, it says, stay afloat and feel steady and calm. It's so interesting because when we look at this cycle of life, I think group number 1, your Neptune ancestor is saying, you are moving forward despite maybe some challenges that you've had recently or even in the last year. This is a timeless reading, but you may be coming out of a challenging time, maybe a challenging relationship for some of you. And you're starting to see the sun again. You're starting to see the positive things that are happening in your life. Maybe it took a while to get there. Sometimes when you have depressive feelings, it's hard to see what is good that's happening around you. And, I've got to say, globally, there's been a lot of things that could really anchor us in heavy kind of a heavy momentum, so in this card, I see you, group number 1, like you're releasing yourself. That water is talking about a certain kind of freedom, even emotionally, that's happening. And it's about letting go. I think that is the primary message from your Neptune ancestor, is that you've got to let go of the past. Because as you let go and let it die, something new, as kind of pointed out here with this Five of Earth, something new is going to come and take its place. Something new is going to happen. I strongly feel for this group number 1. This is talking about a relationship of some sort. Could be a romantic relationship, could be a friend relationship. Let's go to the tarot cards to see. Spiritually, you're being directed to understand that change happens. What I like about this tower card here is that the person falling out of the tower has a mask on. And so when that tower moment happens, the mask, either it can stay on or it can come off. Either you can hide behind your old identity and or past things that have happened, or you can take off the mask and show your true feelings, show authentically who you are. We have the Eight of Wands. Now, for some of you, let me choose one more card before I complete my thought here. Knight of Cups. Wow. Someone's coming in fast for you, group number 1. They're in Knight of Cups energy, meaning, they have a lot of emotions for you. They see something interesting and they feel a certain stirring. I hear that word. They're stirred in some kind of way. It's almost as if it's sudden too. It's almost as if they meet you at this time where you're releasing, where you're letting go. And it's like a tower moment. They're like, oh, who's this? It's because I think your Neptune ancestor is saying here, group number 1, that when that mask comes off, when this healing process is feeling somewhat complete. I mean, we're always in an ongoing healing process. Someone's going to see you. It's going to be like a sudden burst in their attention, and they're going to come in right away. They want to offer you something, maybe even a gesture that's somewhat emotional. We have the Arise. We have the Magician. And we have the Three of Swords, but it's in reverse. And Spirit is saying to take it in reverse. This person is going to come in fast, group number 1. They're going to feel as if they manifested you. Or you may feel as if you've manifested them. It's almost as if you have a thought one day about, wouldn't it be nice to meet my perfect person? However you would describe this, my perfect partner, or just my future partner. And the next day, it's almost as if you bump into this person, or they see you and they come up towards you. So it's going to feel like a sudden manifestation is happening. It's almost as if that Neptune energy, it's like something happens, there's a little bit of a cloud that happens. So your Neptune ancestor is saying here that 2 things can happen. Either you don't see this person coming, but they definitely see you. Or there's something about this relationship that you're not going to have 100% information on in the beginning. In both things can happen. This person comes towards you and they're like, oh, hey, I'm really interested in you. I keep hearing, there's something that you stir inside of me. And then, there's a way in which you're going to be like, well, did I manifest this person? Or is this person just coming in out of the clouds of this tower moment? What's interesting is this 3 of Swords. It's upside down. It's meaning either one or both of you have left a situation that was not going to be conducive to finding the kind of relationship you wanted. Someone may have left a situation that included like heartbreak and third-party situations. That could be you, group number 1. That could be this person coming towards you. Spirit is saying that there's more to this message, so I'm just going to do a couple more things here. A couple more cards. Page of Swords. And Spirit is saying it is reversed too. There's a little bit of a Neptunian quality to this beginning of this relationship. You both are tired of being logical. But then you also have the Page of Cups here, which I feel is upright. You all just want to give to each other. You're tired of all of the logical things that you've got to, like there's a way in which maybe both of you might ignore advice to take things slowly, to get to know each other more. There's a lot of feelings here, and there's a way in which I think you both look at that. You've got several pages here. There's messages here throughout the relationship. One is, I think your Neptune ancestor is saying, watch what you ignore or put to the side or decide to, decide not to look at. And watch how attached you become to your emotions in this relationship. And then they're saying, use your head a little bit. There's a lot of passion here. This might be a situation where you both are physically intimate quite soon after meeting each other. That could happen. I think Spirit is saying here, because it is your Neptune ancestor, beware of that Neptunian force. You have lobster. It says a financial pinch. Flowers, happiness. Club, someone will try to make you do something against your will. Scissors, disappointment in some affair. Money path, a path of money is waiting for you to find it. And Spirit is pointing out this one purple card here, February. So again, I think this is going to happen soon. If you're listening to this in the time that I recorded it, it's the beginning of 2024. What Spirit is warning you here, your Neptunian ancestor, there's going to be many things that feel right about this relationship. But there's also a way in which I think you're going to be able, if you heed the warning of your Neptune ancestor, you're going to understand somewhere in the middle of this, you do need to take it slow. And you want to be careful about someone kind of pushing the relationship forward in a way that feels too fast, that feels a little too impulsive. There may be that kind of force or that attention that this relationship wants in the beginning that will take you away from some things that you really need to focus on financially. So I think to your Neptune ancestor is saying, don't let this relationship kind of just sweep you away from your responsibilities. There is going to be maybe some disappointment that is expressed from this person when you kind of pull back or you institute boundaries. But that is how we manage Neptunian energy. We have to institute boundaries just so that we can be in the present moment of the relationship and allow for ourselves to reap the benefits of what we've learned from the past, right? Stay afloat. Feel steady and calm. Your Neptune ancestor is saying, stay a little bit more grounded. It's okay if all these emotions are coming up. Good. But also be grounded. You can be happy in this moment, but institute some boundaries. That in the end will make sure that you do not repeat lessons of the past, group number 1. I think that's what your Neptune ancestor really wants to protect you from, is those lessons of the past. So, this is where I will end group number 1. I've really felt so honored to read for you today. If you've resonated with this reading, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. It's just a simple way to support this brand new channel. Make sure that my readings are getting seen by people who might resonate with them. And then if you like the way that I read, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the subscribe and then clicking the bell, because then you'll get notified when I upload new readings. If this is where we break apart and you're not going to watch another group, have a good rest of your day, my honeys. Take care. Hello, group number 2. How are you? This is Kamara with the Blackdove Oracle. I want to thank you for joining me for this pick a card with what is it that your Neptune ancestors want you to know. And you chose this image either of the child, which I will show you here, or you chose one of the images of the ancestors that's in the beginning slide. Either way, this is your reading. Let me review with you just really briefly the energy of Neptune. Neptune is the psychic planet of ideals, of intuition, of spirituality, and compassion. Neptune reveals your innate connection to spirituality, to mysticism, to your supernatural abilities, to your creativity, and your divinity. Neptune represents this invisible web that supports us when we finally decide to let go and trust that we can't fall out of this universe when we let go. It's kind of that sensation when you're floating in water on your back and you're just allowing the waves to take you. Neptune has that kind of watery quality to it. It governs or rules over the sign Pisces. And it allows for you to have really pure experiences, but also it can be muddy, it can be murky. Sometimes you see the clouds before you see the clarity. So you can often get lost in the transcendence of Neptune energy. And especially if you try to work with Neptune energy and you have no boundaries, you will find fairly quickly that you could be deceived, not have all the information, even become addicted in some cases. So when working with Neptune energy, we've always got to understand there's a little bit of an illusion to it. There's a little bit of a mystery to it that we're not always getting in the full picture. So this reading, we're going to ask the Neptune ancestors, what is it that you need to know on a spiritual, imaginal, and illusionary stage? Like, what is it that they want you to know, especially with whatever's coming up? This is a timeless reading, but whatever's coming up in your life right now. Let's put out the oracle cards. So you have chance. And it's saying here that chance, allow the sea to wash its chest of wonders ashore. You never know what the tide might bring in. Very interesting. You have the Isle of Avalon. Healing, returning to a sense of wholeness and transformation. And then lastly, you have the World card. Very interesting, group number 2. You know, immediately what I sense for you, group number 2, is there has been some kind of definitive end, transformation. The child card, it's a lot of it is about, it can be two things. Like, it could be literally talking about a child's energy. So that could be one thing. But it also talks about being a little bit naive, having good intentions, being really innocent in your actions, having a good heart, trusting easily, wanting to see the best in people, maybe feeling like you do, but it's kind of a rose-colored glasses situation. And the child energy can really, children, they can make up a really beautiful imaginal world. And for some of us, group number 2, when we know that we're kind of working with that inner child energy, especially when it comes to relationships or things that are important in our lives, it can kind of have this Neptunian quality where it becomes very imaginal. This Isle of Avalon, I don't know why, but it looks like one of those places, right? That's very imaginal. It's got this beautiful portal. It's got these like waterfalls. It's like there's something here about this place being a safe haven, a place where you can change and transform and return to wholeness. And in direct opposition is this World card. I want to put it close so that you can see it, group number 2. There's a person walking away from a city that's on fire. Quite the opposite of this Isle of Avalon. And then we're at this Chance card, and Spirit's saying to read it again. Allow the sea to wash its chest of wonders ashore. You never know what the tide is going to bring in. There is something your Neptune ancestors pointing out here, group number 2. That in some ways, you understand your life is changing. But you also need to look at how you're going to allow yourself to be transformed. Because the world in this picture is on fire. And this World card represents ancestral prophecy. It reminds me so much of Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower, right? If you ever read Parable of the Sower, if you haven't, I totally recommend it. I love that book. But Parable of the Sower, without giving too much of it away, the main character is kind of prophesizing the end of her neighborhood. Like the neighborhood literally, and just like this picture, ends up burning down. And she, with a few other close friends, they embark on a journey to find a new home. So what I'm feeling here intuitively, group number 2, is that either you are considering that, you've had to do that, or you will be in the process soon of having to figure out where is your new home. Now, home can also be symbolic to where is it that you feel the most comfortable? Where is it that you feel that you can be your true, authentic self? So if you aren't literally moving, then that home could also mean that, group number 2. But I think for a good majority of you, there is some kind of move happening in the future. Some of you may have had to move quite literally, and I'm sorry if this is the case, from a area in conflict. You may be migrating because of issues of safety. Others of you, it may just be that you are feeling no longer, I keep hearing the word safe, but not secure, not able to make the living that you want to live in the place where you were. And so some of you may be considering moving. There's something magical about this decision, though, group number 2. It's almost as if Spirit is saying some of it has to be left to chance. Not all of it can be planned. I want to get the tarot cards out so that we can get more clarity here. There's something your Neptune ancestor is saying about allowing for yourself to be open to the mystery. You have the Ace of Pentacles. I'm seeing something, but let me put out the rest of the cards. You have the World card. And then you have the Hanged One, which Spirit is saying to definitely take it as a reversal. I ask about reversals, you all. I don't automatically take them. So group number 2, there's opportunity that either has already arrived in your life or it's coming towards you. And it's really going to allow you to complete a cycle. So for some of you, it could be, this is just an example, a new job that's really going to allow you to move. It may be an opportunity, a grant, a scholarship, something of a material is a new material beginning is going to happen. And it's going to allow you to break free, to complete a cycle. And I think here, with this Hanged One in reverse, it means you're no longer stagnant, group number 2. You really are able to make the move you wanted to make. With a major arcana, I'm really feeling like this is what's coming up. You're out of a 5 of Cups energy. I think you're finally, for some of you, you may have been waiting for news of this new beginning, waiting to get a job offer, waiting to find out if you got a scholarship. Whatever it is, group number 2, you are finally going to be out of this 5 of Cups energy where you're kind of not seeing all of your opportunities around, which again is really Neptunian. Like your Neptunian ancestors saying sometimes the clouds are there before you see the clarity. And that's kind of how Neptune works. We have the King of Swords. And I'm being told to take one more card. Judgment. Believe it or not, your Neptunian ancestors, I really love how they're showing up in this reading, even for group number 1. They're saying it's time for you to be decisive. It's time for you to see, put your head above the clouds. When you look at the King of Swords, even in traditional tarot depictions, sitting above the clouds, head above the clouds. And your Neptunian ancestors are saying here, be very clear about the decisions you're going to make going forward. Because now that you can see clearly, the bottom of the deck here, the Fool, there's still a chance, group number 2, that this is all going to seem a little mysterious. It's so funny. Your Neptune ancestor is really quite literally saying, I don't have a definitive answer for you about what's going to happen because it's all, you've got to be in this Fool energy. But guess what? And look underneath that, you all, the ancestors are like, that's right. There is going to be something, though, that if you allow yourself to kind of see past your current situation, which I think you're either on your way to doing or that's happened. You are going to be in a situation that's going to allow you to complete this cycle. You get to walk away. They're saying show this world card. You get to walk away from a burning world, and you get to be in your King of Swords energy. Keep making good decisions. Don't become stagnant, which is the Hanged One upright. Keep moving, keep doing things, but also know that there's plenty you don't know. We don't know how it's all going to turn out, but as long as you're using your intuition, group number 2, as long as you're using good judgment, things are going to work out well for you. Here are your tea leaves. They just kind of fell out here. We have egg. Success assured with good plans and hard work. There it is again. Your Neptune ancestors like, yeah, you just use your head. The Tower is coming up here, but in this deck, it's about a solid foundation. Success with effort. So again, not taking the easy road or not taking something that's too good to be true. Make sure you're doing your research. You have a man here. And you have a broom here, new home, new attitude. So this could be your energy, kind of like the energy of a man, or you might be dealing with a man soon. If you are dealing with someone, hold on, let me get 2 more cards here because Spirit is saying, okay, September. Keep a balance here. If there's going to be some kind of man energy entering your life, maybe I'm not really getting a romantic vibe, but you all, this is a general reading. What I am getting is maybe this is going to be a future roommate, a future partner, somewhere you're going to be moving. You may end up living with someone who is identifying as a man. Keep the balance here in the situation. Somewhere around October is going to be a significant month, as well as December. So this is later in the year, group number 2. Anything else, Spirit? Cain, pay attention to your health. Yeah, so I think what ultimately your ancestor is saying is that life is going to move for you. Keep yourself grounded, but still at the same time open to possibilities. But even as those possibilities, as this little card says, wash ashore, meaning just by chance, even if something seems by chance, take a deeper look into it. Don't allow yourself to take anything at face value. Take a second look. Go at a pace that feels good to you. And group number 2, there's something about your journey that's going to be very rewarding. I think what your Neptunian ancestor is showing me is that you're going to find a new rhythm in life, a new way of making decisions. And a lot of it is going to rest in your gut. It's going to rest in your intuition. And you're going to allow your life to kind of flow that way. And your intuition is backed up by you taking long, hard, intuitive looks at what's coming towards you. So I really love this for you, group number 2. It's really giving someone who's finding the magic of their life, but using it in a way that feels grounded. And your Neptune ancestor is really proud of you. They're showing me. They're like, there's so much you've had to transverse in the last year or so. And they're saying you are heading into a new life, and use what you know, use your own divine inner wisdom, but also use your intuition, and you're going to be just fine, group number 2. So happy for you. So if this resonates with you, would you mind giving me a thumbs up? It really helps me to grow this channel. And if you leave a comment, I'm really interested in if this resonated for you, group number 2. If you want to listen to other piles in this reading, please do. Otherwise, please consider subscribing. If you do that, click the bell because then you get notified when I upload new readings. Otherwise, this is where we part. I am very happy and honored to be a new reader today. Take care, my honeys. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Blackdove Oracle. I want to thank you for allowing me to read for you today. This is a pick a card on what will your Neptune ancestor want you to know for the new future. And you chose the snake card. Really lovely card here. Before we get started, let me just tap you in a little bit to Neptune energy, just in case you might have skipped to the reading. And this is just brief. It's totally okay if you did skip to the reading. Just to let you know that the Neptune is the psychic planet of our ideals, our intuition, our spirituality, and our compassion. It governs the domain of our dreams, but also our delusions. Neptune in your chart can reveal an innate connection to your own spirituality, your mysticism, your supernatural abilities, your creativity, and your divinity. Neptune can feel like this invisible web that's holding us as we're floating, and it's letting us know that we are not going to fall out of the universe. It's kind of likened to if you ever did a flotation tank with a whole bunch of salt, how your body just automatically floats to the top and you feel a divine inner peace, almost as if you're back in the placenta, in the embryo stage. But here's what I want to say also about Neptune. It governs Pisces, and we know with Pisces energy, there's this beautiful, mutable, believe Pisces is mutable water. It's a beautiful, mutable experience, being in the Pisces, emotional energy, but there also can be at times a certain muddiness and certain murkiness that Neptune, like Pisces, might fall into, where you're not always seeing everything clearly, that sometimes there's a bit of a haze before there's actually clarity, where you can see clearly what things are. So when you're dealing with Neptune energy, it's always best to operate with a sense of boundaries, being open, but at the same time understanding that maybe it will take some time to see everything clearly, and that Neptune can easily put you in a place of where you're being deceived, or whether you can talk yourself into becoming addicted to something under its influence, or experience a lot of illusions, and having to kind of reel in the ego in such a way that mystical experiences aren't seen as the thing, there is, yes, there's a mystical happening here, but there's a mystical experience happening here, but there's also ways that I might need to take a second or third look. I might need to slow down the pace. So that's just a little bit about the Neptune energy. And it's interesting because you chose the snake, right? Group number 3. And the snake here, in this card, it's about treachery. It's about deception. It's about not having all of the information when it comes to someone that you are dealing with. This snake card, according to this deck, it doesn't mean for this reading that it's exactly this, but I do have to mention it. It could point to infidelity. It could point to signs of misfortune. Sometimes it can talk about someone having the intention to actually hurt you, like they want to inflict pain. I don't know if it's physical, it could be physical, mental, or spiritual, but there's this snake in this deck points to someone wearing a disguise, but having a very personal agenda to do harm. So before we go any further, let's look at your oracle cards. We have travel. And travel here, you all, it's saying that seeing the surface of the ocean is not the same as diving deep to see the coral. Then we have the sacred well. And the sacred well is saying replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. And lastly, we have the Seven of Fire card. Kind of reminds me of the Strength card. I'm being told to put it right here. Group number 3, you've been very intentional about taking care of yourself. And I think a part of that taking care of yourself has been to implement boundaries, right? Because, that's really essential when it comes to taking care of ourselves. And I'm getting a sense that you may have been really having to take care of your physical health, or you were burnt out, and it required so much of your strength here to replenish yourself, to get your energy back in alignment. And there's something here about the strength it took to actually focus on yourself, group number 3. Some of you come from family patterns where it's not really allowed to take care of yourself, especially if you're in the feminine body or you identify as a woman. There could have been some real gendered standards when it came to taking time for yourself, to stepping out of the caregiver role. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in the feminine while you're listening to this, but there is a feminine kind of energy that's showing up here that the Neptune ancestor is bringing to my attention. That you really had to make some decisions for you, group number 3. You had to step out of maybe some enmeshment in the family, in your partnership, whatever the case. It could have even been at work. And I think that didn't fare well with someone who's close to you. They don't know how to handle this new set of boundaries that you are putting in place. Because literally, I think for some of you, this was like a situation where you either had to choose yourself or suffer serious consequences. It was something that was very serious. Like it could have been a serious health issue, or an issue that could have gotten worse if you didn't stop and take care of yourself. But this snake is really, and I see the way the snake is kind of looking at this character. I don't know why. There's just this energy here that I'm seeing almost kind of psychically, that this person was really angry. Take it where it resonates, but someone close to you was really angry about you instituting a boundary. Someone close to you didn't feel like, who were you to decide to take a break, or who were you to decide to take some PTO or whatever it was. Like, who are you? Why do you get to do that? And I get with this travel card, it's not so much, it's funny, it's saying the word travel, but when you read closer, it's talking about going underneath the surface. And Spirit and your Neptune ancestors are saying, you may or may not, depending on how caught up you are in taking care of yourself, you may or may not notice who this person is. You may not notice the things they might be doing. Unfortunately, your ancestors are saying behind the scenes. They're wanting me to get the tarot cards out right now. So this person, it can be a boss, it could be a friend, it could be a partner, it can be a family member. So please kind of take everything where it resonates. It's saying that someone close to you may surprise you as being the culprit of something that's kind of pulling your energy away from getting well. That's one thing that your Neptune ancestors pointing out is like this person is kind of operating behind the scenes or, behind some smoke and mirrors, but they really want to bring your attention back to them or back to the situation. So if it's like someone from work, they're wanting to bring your attention back to work. If it's somebody in the family, they're wanting to pull your attention back away to some behavioral issue or some financial issue. Whatever it is, this person doesn't want you in the energy, group number 3, of yourself. But Spirit is showing me here that is where your deep healing is happening right now. Focusing on yourself in such a way that's very sacred, I'm seeing it is allowing you to blossom in such a beautiful way, group number 3. And if you haven't taken that step yet, look, Spirit is showing you the sun. You will only experience really beautiful things. The energy of Leo is here. Maybe you are a Leo or somewhere in your chart is Leo prominently. It doesn't mean that all alone. It can mean too that you are just, there's something about retrieving your energy with the sun. And Spirit is saying here, yeah, if you've been thinking about this or kind of doubting how much time you're dedicating to yourself, group number 3, Spirit wants you to know that no, this is well worth your while. You need to get well. And look, this 5 of Swords, they're just saying, please don't sacrifice yourself anymore. Because they're showing me that this is actually you in deep thought. And then you see the people in the background, right? They're wanting to distract you from your own attention. Because you need to heal, group number 3. You need this time. This is very specific, but some of you may have even had a baby recently and you're needing that time. Maybe you need to hire a doula, I'm hearing, or someone to come and help you out certain parts of the day. That's very specific. Someone else might be healing from a medical procedure and they're really just needing to take the time. Others of you, if nothing is physically wrong with your body, thank the heavens. But also they're saying, but you recognize you're mentally burnt out. There's just no more that you can give. And that can still impact your physical health. 8 of Swords. Yeah, Spirit is showing me this specifically in your Neptune ancestor as well. Before you decided to really care for yourself, you felt like you were in a bind. The energy that this person, and this could be a person, you all, or it could be an organization. The snake, let it represent the thing that was trying, again, that snake's energy. It's like trying to take you away from caring for yourself, trying to distract you from giving yourself the love, the care that you need. Group number 3. Spirit said these 2. Yeah, and you're going to understand that going forward in life, everything is about temperance. Everything is about balance. That is where you are going to allow your cup to be poured into in the same way that you're pouring into someone else's cup. If this is a relationship, the snake, then you need to understand the reciprocity that's needed in the relationship. You're not going to just pour into someone's cup and they don't get to pour back. And lastly, you have a Knight of Swords. Spirit is wanting you, your Neptune ancestor is wanting you to be very decisive about your care, to not backpedal, to take immediate action to get yourself well again, because that Knight of Swords is like immediate action, logical action, a plan. And it's so funny because all your Neptune ancestors so far, they've come into this reading going, no, we want things grounded. No, we want a plan. They're in such a different energy, but I think it's because they're seeing all the smoke and mirrors around you, group number 3, and they're like, no, I want to come in and I'm going to clear everything so you can actually see who supports you and who doesn't support you. Group number 3. Let's go to the tea leaves. Marriage. Yeah, for some of you, this is your partner. And I'm sorry if that's activating. But maybe you've just in your marriage never had clear boundaries. It doesn't mean the marriage is over. It just means you need to exercise good boundaries. Others of you, cat, it's a two-faced friend. It could be someone who really feels as if you are taking attention away from them because you want to focus on yourself. They might even not even see that you're focusing on yourself. They might think that you're just trying to treat them badly or disrespectfully, and you're like, no, I'm actually taking care of my health right now. So that's just someone who's a little self-involved, possibly. You have the arrow here, and the arrow is you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Like Spirit is saying here, group number 3, if you are taking care of yourself, if you've made decisive moves to really focus on yourself and give yourself that love, you are in the right place. Bat, take care, an enemy is working against you. Again, I think because we're reading collectively, I want you to know that for some of you, this is a work person. For some of you, this is a friend. For others of you, this could be a spouse. But someone's trying to work against you in the sense of wanting to pull your attention away from your health, away from your self-care. And that is someone that you need to watch out for. That's someone that your Neptune ancestor is saying who's hiding a little bit behind the clouds, doing something. Be careful. Yeah, this person is dissatisfied with their own life. They've never seen someone do what you've done, group 3, which is to quite literally make yourself the locus of your universe. For some people, they've never seen someone care for themselves like you are. And they want to make it seem as if it's unusual or narcissistic or whatever. Don't listen to them. Your spirit's just like, do not listen to them. Take care of yourself and you will reap the rewards. You will be in this strength energy before you know it. Okay, my group number 3, I really, if you are in ill health or I just want you to take care of yourself. I'm really glad that you hopefully are watching this from bed or the sofa. But if this resonates with you, can you just please put like a little emoji below or let me know what pile that you watched? And if you don't mind, just helping me grow the channel by simply clicking the thumbs up button. If you like the way that I read, then please subscribe and hit that bell, because then you get notified when I upload a new reading. And if this is where we part and you're not going to listen to another group, I hope that you'll have a good evening. I hope that you really do heed the advice of your guides to take care of yourself and not feel like that's a bad thing to do. It's the most powerful thing to do, actually. Okay, take care, group number 3. Bye. Hello, group number 4. Thank you for joining me here. I'm Kamara with the Blackdove Oracle, and you chose the Siren card in this deck. And this pick a card is about advice from your Neptune ancestor. And let me just share with you briefly a little bit about Neptune, just in case you skipped ahead to the reading, and that's not a problem. But let's just talk a little bit about the Neptune energy. Neptune is the psychic planet of ideals, intuition, spirituality, and compassion. It governs the domain of our dreams and our delusions. Neptune reveals your innate condition to connect to your spirituality, to your mysticism, to your supernatural abilities, your creativity, and your divinity. So when I think of Neptune energy, I associate it with Pisces because it does rule the sign Pisces. And Pisces is that mutable water where at one point there's a lot of cleansing and emotional cleansing happening, as well as there's something murky happening, something a little muddy at times happening, and that's kind of that Neptune quality of like sometimes things are not going to be clear. You have to let the dust settle, the mud settle, and then you see clearly what's around you, what you're dealing with. And I think that, people with Pisces energy, they understand that when you're working with that particular kind of mutable water, it's important to have boundaries. It's important to institute boundaries for your own self-care so that you aren't ending up being deceived by a situation or someone. And also, you're not prone to illusions or delusions or even some addictive behaviors. So Neptune is here. And I've got to say, this is the last group that I'm reading for, but throughout this reading, our Neptune ancestors have been here to help us navigate through the murkiness. So we'll see if that's going to be the same for you, group number 4. But you chose the Siren, which in this deck, it has a very interesting meaning. I'm going to put it up a little bit close to you. Now, the Siren could be talking about a significant other in this deck. Maybe a boss, maybe a friend, a family member, a neighbor. Someone that you're dealing with is coming into the picture. Your Neptune ancestor wants you to be aware of someone's energy. And I think what they're asking here, the Neptune ancestor, is what is the situation between the both of you? There's something happening in the energetic resonance of this relationship. Let's look at your other oracle cards. We have opportunity. It says you will prove yourself and discover that you are brave enough to navigate these rough seas. Something like that. I inserted a word. Then you have the rainbow. It says sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. And lastly, we have the 6 of air. Very interesting card. So group number 4, I actually believe that this could be one of two things, but I'm strongly thinking that some of you are in a new relationship. And this relationship, when I say new, it could be really in the dating stage even. And it's presenting to you as something that maybe it's presenting as a relationship that's still in a sprouting phase. I don't know why I get the sprout here. But what's interesting is it's a new beginning. Look at all that like beautiful like spectrums of light that are happening here. It's a new way forward. I think that both of you feel very positive about this relationship. Just for a small group of you, because of the kind of the rainbow, it might be same sex or LGBTQIA kind of relationship. Doesn't mean for everyone, but I do want to point that out. It could be a new kind of relationship that you're trying for the first time, either one or both of you. And there's something about building this relationship, taking the time and the nurturing that this relationship means. And it's very much held that energy by this Six of Air card. You see how there's the two parenting doves, or are these, what are they, swans? Sorry, swans. And they have the little babies around, but you look in the background. Look in the background really quick. There's a fox back there, or some kind of predator. And it's kind of pointing to a situation of like, when you have something new that you're birthing, something like, again, at that sprout stage, you really want to take care of it. You don't want to expose it. Your Neptune ancestors are coming in clear right now. In fact, if you were thinking about listening to group number 3, there's some similar resonance here. Your Neptune ancestors are saying, listen, protect this thing that you are giving birth to. Now, if some of you, if it isn't a relationship, then it might be a new work opportunity. It might be a new project you're working on. And you're being directed by your Neptune ancestor to understand, because look again, there's a lot of like smoke here. There's a lot of fog here. And if you aren't careful, if you don't protect what you've recently given birth to, and I really think it's a symbolic birth, like a new relationship, a new job responsibility, or new project, any kind of new plan, it can be attacked by something. It can fall into the hands of prey. So it's important here to listen to that, because your Neptune ancestors are saying, not necessarily that there's someone waiting in the dark to do something to you, but there is this idea that there might be, you just want to take care for a minute. Okay, I had to like cough a little bit here. I always think, even though I've been doing readings back to back, so I'm not going to get really strong with this, but someone may not want you to hear this. We have the Devil. It's in reverse. Spirit is saying here that it's okay to put it upright too. Same meaning. Just be aware. Sometimes that devil energy is coming up because we aren't paying attention to everything. We're so used to like kind of being, how do I want to say, if it is a relationship that's new, all of your attention is on each other instead of like what's happening around you. That's coming very specific with that devil energy. Yeah, you have the Seven of Wands. There is something here. I'm just going to put it out here. Take it where it resonates. One or both of you, there's an energy around you that doesn't want you to be in a relationship or doesn't want you in this opportunity. Take it where it resonates. And you are feeling like you're needing to defend yourself. You're needing to like kind of watch out for negative energies. Yeah, that's getting confirmed by your Neptune ancestor. Or if you haven't been paying attention, it is time. Look, there's the Strength card. You're being told that You don't need to live in fear, though. You don't need to live on your knees. That's what I'm hearing from your Neptune ancestors. This is not a moment to like buckle down because someone opposes you. It's more of like just understanding. Look at that Seven of Cups, that people wear masks. People have their own agenda. Sometimes their agenda does not match yours. And it's just important for you to understand there's a few people around you with some various feelings for whatever reason, why they have those feelings. I don't know if that's going to come out in the cards. Spirit said there's a couple more cards here. I just think, unfortunately, group number 4, you have some people around you that don't want to see you move forward. And I'm sorry about that. Like, that just feels like, what business is it of theirs? But there's someone who's just like a little deceptive. There might be like even some talk around you. There's a lot of different emotions here. Yeah, maybe someone feels rejected. I don't get that it's either you or the partner or you and this opportunity. I feel like someone on the outside feels rejected by some new moves that you are making. Group number 4. And it's going to be important for you. Your Neptune ancestor is saying it's just going to be important for you to understand that that's happening. Whether or not you want to directly address it, I'm not getting that yet. Something may have happened in the month of May in the prior year or coming up. November. I don't know why, but your ancestors are pointing me to some incidents that might have happened in May, November, and October. Had something to do maybe with money. I'm seeing that again. Coins. Someone may, if this is an opportunity that came towards you, goldfish, increase material wealth. Yeah, listen, those 3 cards right there, group number 4. Even if this is a relationship, it may be a relationship that is going to influence your financial situation. That's one situation. But if this was an opportunity that you got, a new job, new raise, whatever it was, group number 4, there's someone who feels like they were slighted, they were on the outside, that they didn't get a chance maybe to apply for your job, or they felt that you got this position or this opportunity unfairly. Whatever this person's feelings are, I don't know why, but your Neptune ancestors are trying to like bring this person from behind the curtain. So they want you to know there is some of that energy out, and that you may just want to be observant right now, group number 4, because it looks like there was an incident that happened in May, something happened in October and November, if it's in the past, or you may want to be very aware of these months as we're going forward. I feel like you're in a very good position. But you also have got to understand that with increased opportunities, I hate this saying, I hate that it's true, but new levels, new devils. What do we got here? New levels, new devils, group number 4. Sometimes you've just, as you move forward in the world, as you realize a lot of your dreams, sometimes there's people who are going to think you don't deserve those rewards for whatever reason. And Spirit is saying here, you don't need to concentrate on why they think the way they think. Yeah. Let them have their tears. Give them a bucket for their tears. Group number 4. Because you are moving forward. And that's really hard when someone feels as like you are the personal blame for their missed opportunities. But even your Neptune ancestor is saying there's more to that situation than you will ever know about. Sometimes people were given opportunities and they turned them down simply in their actions. Okay, that was really clear. Like I said, these Neptune Ancestors, group number 4, they were not coming to play. They pointed out very specific things in each one of these readings that they wanted their progeny to know. And so I hope this is loud and clear for you, group number 4. It seems like great things are happening for you. And just to focus on that, but also to know about the opposing energy around you. If you resonate with this, I would love if you left me a comment below, or if you can just simply help me by giving a thumbs up, yay, to this reading, because it just helps me grow the channel. It's a real simple way to support this new channel, to give some reciprocity to the reading. I really appreciate it. If you love the way that I read or you resonate with it, I would love if you subscribe to the channel and then click that bell, because then it will give you a notification whenever I upload a new reading. Other than that, my honeys, I am so honored to be reading for you, and I hope that I catch you in the next reading. Take care. Good luck with all of your wins, group number 4, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye.